And by heck, I am tired. And by the way, this is my wind turbine mast. It's going to have a meter taken off it anyway. That's going to be welded on at some point. And that's the flange for mounting the wind turbine at the top. But I need a piece of this aluminium right now, so I'm cutting it off by hand. It is well long, and I'm not carrying it out to the automatic bandsaw. And for all the operations that I'm going to do on it. So I'm going to face it off. This side should be square, as in the back face, so I've tapped that in against the jaws. Then I'm going to bore it out to the appropriate diameter, internal diameter, for the pressing operation on the bearing. My word, am I annoyed after doing all that sawing. There we go. And that's an ominous noise. So I'm going to bring you back when I've tightened the belts up. I'm back, and the belts are tight. Let's see if they are or not. Slight slip as it started up, a very slight slip. But as you can see, that is out of round. Pretty bad. Stops you from shaking. I don't know if this tool will take that. We'll soon find out. I think that'll do it. We're making the pressing mandrel for this. As you can see, there's just a little tiny lip there I can press onto. Either side, just press on there. So I need to be able to clear this cast iron T-slot tabletop, but not clear the bronze bush, and get as much on the bronze bush as possible so as not to damage it. And the aluminium's softer than the bronze, so it shouldn't damage the bronze, it should damage the aluminium if anything's going to get damaged. Not that damaging the bronze will be the end of the world, because the bit that I'll be damaging won't be part of the bearing surface, but by the by, I need to get this bronze bush back off to do an extra task, which is chamfer it a bit more so it presses without having a gap, which you may or may not be able to see in between the two surfaces there. Yeah, because it's big. So that was a 5 thou cut I just took, and it's nearly cleaned it all the way up, so we'll bring that not quite cleaned up bit to the bottom, so I'm not measuring on it. Boring boy out the way. Yeah. Seems to have took 5 thou out total. Not what I asked of it, but there we go. So 140 to go, 70 per side. Fingers crossed, that should be good enough. $252, $257. I think that'll go straight. Oh, sorry, $157. That'll go straight. If that was $257, it would be piss slack. So that's 7 thou clearance. That should be hunky dory. Absolutely hunky dory. Let's see if we can get all these chips out into the area I want them. Oh, it needs to be deburred, that does. It's got a massive burr on the inside, so I'll just come up with a cunning plan to deburr that. There's a bit of aluminium stuck to the end of the tip there, unsurprisingly. Surface finish is like glass. Very good surface finish. Come up with some cunning plan to do some kind of chamfer in there. Yep, and what about in there? Can I reach into there? Yes, I can. Alright, reverse. Run. Well, good sign is it goes in. Bad sign is it doesn't go all the way in. You get out of town. No way, man. What's stopping me? Oh, come on. Can't say I didn't do it deep enough. It looks way too deep. Oh, good grief, it's too tight. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. So we got 564 there, approximately. And the land on that is 500. So that should go in there easily. And have 64 thousandths. Flop. So, still got some more machining to do. Happy days, eh? It's a bit tight. And I need some more depth. Well, must have took about another 20 or 30 thou out of that. Don't know how much I took out. We'll soon find out. Oh, okay. It now says 646. That's 150 thou clearance. 150 thou is 4 mil. I think that should definitely be enough to press it off in. Goes all the way down, but it's tight still. Like properly tight. Oh no, it's not. No, it's freed up the end. Alright. is nice and tight, and this land is 12.67 mil, and this land is 0.8 mil deeper. Whatever, some other depth deeper. 60.44. Now, I haven't got a clue what time the camera cut out. There is still 5 gigs of recording space and 8% of battery left. It's obviously cut out at some point. This has motion sensor, I think, this camera detects motion, and if there's no motion it stops. So maybe the chuck jaw going for such a long time is when it cut out, but it was too tight and I don't think it was deep enough. So I took some more out of the diameter to make it less tight. I don't know exactly how wide it is now, but we're somewhere. I want it on inches. 3163. Okay, so I took another 1/4 thou out of it. Sorry, another 1/7 thou out of it. And the depth of that land, which is superior now, the okay, is now 690 thousandths, which is 17.5 mil, and we have, I'm just using that bit there, we have 1/2 inch, 12.7 mil, so I've got 5 mil approximately now, so 5 mil, yeah, that should be alright. I don't think any of those lands were 5 mil. That is the pressing mandrel complete. Right, so we can get it undone without dropping it. There. It's a bit hot, so when it cools down it's going to be a bit tighter. And that finish was the chatter on the last. I tried to take 1/1000th out of it on the last to clean it up, and it put a chatter in it, and the chatter is beautiful. If it was constant all the way down to those lines in it, you see the lines in it? If that chatter was constant, if you could just keep that chatter going all the way down, it's like a really fine nailed finish. It's absolutely glorious. Then she fits in like that, and there is a gap, a big gap, massive gap. Right, to the press, press it back off again, re-machine it, whatever needs re-machining, which has got the gap producer on it, and then press it back together again. The pressing mandrel continues. So I've got a piece of steel, tubing, put it in as best as I can. Just going to true this end up. Not too bad. That should be cool for pressing with now. Right. So we've got a divot in there, if you can see that, yeah you can, just there. So the finger is here, where I wondered when I was hand sawing it. This is a nice finish there, that is horrible. So this steel likes the higher speeds. The internal finish is, well, rubbish. So no, I didn't like that speed for that. Just practicing basically, different metals. So from next job I'm going to need some soft jaws. So I've got an old aluminium can. It was for tyre repair fluid, and I've cut out that shape, which I modelled on that shape of cardboard, which I wrapped around and then folded over like this. It's a little bit short, so I've just added a little bit of width. Onto these aluminium plates. So now you could just grab it and go round. Like that. Put it forwards a little bit. Bring it over. And then you push it in all the way. You sort of hold themselves. Could do that. Right, and then take them off, and then just on the creases, just bend them over a little bit. So now when that goes on, it's nice and tight and stays on. It's aluminium, so it protects whatever's underneath it. There, and they stay in place. Excellent. Whew. Now of course this won't go in. But I got it. And I can only grip on this by around about 2 mil. Not ideal. And that was the wrong chuck pick. That's why it felt so good. About there's perfect. Just make that nice and tight. Now we should get a better idea of what's happening. So that's touching that bottom land now. I've locked this spindle up now by pressing a little bit, so that is exactly where I want it. And as we can see, I've got clearance there. And we can see that it's not clocked in neither at the moment. But I am quite happy that where it is, I will have enough room to do that operation. So that's what I was talking about. Next, camera lined up. Next, I'm going to clock in this front face, I think. And if I clock that in, I'm going to recheck that before I do any undulation of the latitude of the tangent of the bisexual. I'm going to do the face first, because I'm going to be tapping the face into position, and I'll do a face again in another procedure, but for a start I just want to get it tapped in and make sure there's still enough I can do some more face tapping later. There's the high. I'm doing it a thousandth at the time. That's a bit more than a thousandth, that is. So that's the high, just there, around there somewhere. There. So around about here somewhere. There. There. High, there, between them two. Zero, 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 zero. That high there is in between them two. Ooh, you pain in the backside. Bit more there. Bit more there. That high there's between them two. Bit more there. A bit more there. More there. Bit more there. Oh, good grief, that's gone way too far now, hasn't I? There. Still not happy. Still between those two jaws. It's just 1,000. I just need to push it down 1,000. It's just like, go down, you bugger. There we go. Perfect. Well, as close to perfect as possible. It's just vibrating slightly. Happy. Now I'm happy. Now I am happy. I knew it would take a swear word. It always takes a swear word. So I'm going for a 2mm in feed. I always use the digital one for the short little spurts. It's not much good for anything else. Get into a touch. So I'll turn you off for a second because I'm going to get the hoover out now and do some hoovering. So it's about 1.8 centimetres to the land. So I want more than 1.8 centimetres, sorry, 1.8 centimetres. And the whole thing is 2.2 centimetres. I'm taking off 6mm. That's 2, and then 4 more. That'll bring it out to about there. There's 4mm difference. That'll give it 2mm of overhang. It can handle 2mm. Bronze can handle 2mm at 2mm. That's square. Yeah, that's fine. Where it is good. Alright, here we go. Right, so as we can see, the rotary table is inside the rotary table base. There's a bit of oil on it. The camera cut out while I was finishing it off, which is a bit annoying. I've just ordered a new battery for my phone because this is just becoming ridiculous now. It can jump from 40% to 0 some days, and it can go to minus a lot on other days. So the rotary table, it's brilliant. In comparison to what it was, it's what it should be like. You know, it's what you'd expect of an engineered piece of equipment. Now I've put a few marks in the top of the table. Not too fussed about that at all. The reason being is there is still 3,000 run out. Okay. Now you've got to imagine I've gone from mounting it on a faceplate and doing all the turning operations I could to putting it into a 4-jaw and got it to 3,000 and its perimeter undulation, and it has got a high spot, so there is a high spot on it. It might be where I grabbed it, the 4-jaw, I don't know, but at the end of the day it's in there. The groove isn't the smoothest of finishes because I didn't hone the parting tool before doing it. So that was a bit bodgy, but it's completely acceptable. And it seems to be surfaced all the way around beautifully. Across the bottom there is a register across the bottom which is uninterrupted. So I parted it, well I grooved it in a very nice position basically. It has raised a burr, I haven't took the burr off yet, but that'll come when I deburr it. Now, next, what I plan to do is take my trusty brass rod, which is getting shorter obviously, and I want to make the hold down clamps out of brass. Try not to get ahead of myself here. I've got, if I make a centre punch 5mm away from the perimeter of the rotary table and drill an M4 or M5 and tap it for M4 or M5 in that area, the base can handle that, not a problem. At around about where the T-slot is, pointing in that direction. If we flip that over, and you can see that side, that doesn't quite line up with the existing hole drilled in there. So, I plan to make a steel plinth and use this existing thread and bolt it to the side with a nice level playing field there, and then drill and tap it for 4 or 5mm, whatever I decide, for the bolt, for the hold down clamp to pinch down on this perimeter here in that groove. And I want to make those hold downs out of brass. I was going to do steel, I still could do steel. Now I have a drawing of how I plan to make this into a hold down clamp. Let me just grab the drawing. Here is the drawing I have so far. I was working off the off-centre drilling here, but by the by, we can just forget about that for a second. This is the profile if it was flipped down and you look at it from the underneath. And that's a side-on view. That is oil. That is the side of the rotary table, the groove in it. Just a representation. So, I want that kind of profile. A little contact pad at the front. The hole will be drilled through in the opening there, so there'll be a hole there. And then this will come down, and one bit will be obviously on this side here, it'll be resting on that, and then it'll be levering in like that. On the other side it'll be, well, it'll be resting on the little plinth I make. To make that, what I've decided is, this is how I'm planning it at the moment. First of all, I'll face that off, that piece of brass. Then I'll put it in the forge jaw and I'll mount it off centre. And it will be 9mm one side, 7mm the other side. Although that might change by ½ mm. Then I will drill it off centre, quite deep, deep enough to accommodate 2 of these and the scrap which will come off of those just from the holding process. Now, if my milling machine was up and running, it wasn't freezing cold, then I'd be out fixing the milling machine. But anyway, so I haven't got the milling machine working at the moment, so I need to make these out of the milling machine. So after I've off-centre drilled them, the next plan of action is to make a vise for the forge jaw, which you can see back here, which is now hitting the wood. And that vise will be made out of a piece of steel. Get this out of the way. A piece of steel like that. And the plan of action there will be centre drill it and then mark out 2 holes either side. Drill them for 16mm. Then this will slip into it. Get a nice fit, and then slit in one side of that and probably slit in the opposite side of the other side. So when that gets crushed in the forge jaw, it will hold these out here at the periphery. The reason being is the first cuts that I can make this cut here and this cut here, and I can shave that bit off. Then what's left, I can rotate it around a little bit, and then I can take this cut here and I can rotate it the opposite way, and I can take that cut there, and I can rotate it a bit more and take this cut here and rotate it another way, and then take that cut there, and get that profile at the top, which doesn't look too bad. And what I'll be aiming for then is that this curvature here fits the rotary table perfectly. So when it goes in there, it's got even more of a contact patch, and you know it fits. You know, it's made to fit. So I now need to measure the inside of that groove accurately.